buildings have significance beyond their architectural value. The Potala Palace in the Tibetan capital of Lhasa is one. The UNESCO World Heritage Site is situated at a height of 12,000 feet, nearly 4,000 metres, overlooking the Lhasa Valley. A grand architectural achievement, the most significant building in the once mysterious mountain kingdom, the Potala also remains a holy place, the seat of Tibetan Buddhism. The Potala is an immense structure, its interior space being in excess of 130,000 square metres. The palace was originally built to provide a residence for the Dalai Lama and his large staff. It was also the seat of the Tibetan government, where all ceremonies of state were held. It housed a school for religious training of monks and administrators, and it was one of Tibet's major pilgrimage destinations because it held the tombs of past Dalai Lamas. Within the White Palace are two small chapels dating from the 7th century. They are the oldest surviving structures on the hill and also the most sacred. It was from here that the 1959 Tibetan uprising against the Chinese occupation began. Its failure forced the 14th Dalai Lama, seen here, and thousands of others into exile. The Dalai Lama and many of his followers now reside in the foothills of the Himalayas in Dharamsala in northern India. Unlike most other Tibetan religious structures, the Potala survived relatively intact. It was not sacked by the Red Guards during the 1960s and 70s, apparently through the personal intervention of Chu Enlai. As a result, all the chapels and their artefacts are very well preserved, despite the last known renovation being in 1922. But finally, the building has been the subject of Chinese renovation. More than $40 million was spent on restoring the 13-storey, 400-year-old palace. No one has argued about the need to maintain the Tibet Autonomous Region's most important building. The most critical thing for us is to continually protect the Potala Palace. We work on this every year. It is different from other structures. It needs to be painted and the wood panelling needs to be replaced on a yearly basis. This way we can keep it in good condition for some time. In recent years, China's rapid economic expansion has extended to Tibet. However, throughout the Potala's renovations, there were concerns about the quality of the work being carried out. Currently, we are dealing with a twofold issue: whether we are using good cement and whether Tibetan workers are used for the renovation work. In my view, as I have said before, workers of other nationalities can't do this kind of work because it is Tibetan-style architecture. UNESCO, which supported the Potala's World Heritage listing, is just as worried about unsympathetic constructions in other parts of Lhasa.
There are always some bad cases in the surrounding buffer zones of the World Heritage Property, some illegal demolition, some really intrusive building. And in that respect, UNESCO would hope that the Chinese, particularly Lhasa authority, could do some architecture design survey in compliance with the traditional building code, rather than just build intrusive new buildings, I think, yeah.
A railway between China and Tibet was recently opened, and a vast increase in tourist numbers has already begun, with the Potala Palace a must-see sight for many visitors. Now that the renovation is complete, the task will be to maintain the earth, wood and rock structure for future generations.